EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box, and guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
21.
Here's McKinnon, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now a play fake. Garoppolo steps away. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's Walton. And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
No. Check. Patriot. Leopard. Set. Boom, landed.
Looking to throw. Escaping. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They're not continue their drive.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal.
Watch him now, Barney.
Back to throw here. This one left side caught by Barrios. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM that always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now McKinnon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Garoppolo on first down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Detroit. Detroit.
On play action, they'll throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And we'll see what he can do on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
McKinnon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
21.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Detroit!
A toss play to Hunt. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Ends up a nice 2nd down for them.
Touchdown, 49ers! George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This is Hunt, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And nearly a touchdown as they finally... Stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
He's going to get it running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. They run it with McKinnon, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school, and now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Back nine in that Philly. Here we go.
A run by Walton to begin the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue, 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Set. 319. 319.
Now back to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Willie Henry in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Barrios. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. For 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Walton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1:57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Flush to his right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
21.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Wait. Go ahead. 12.
He'll get it up the middle and across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Orleans Darkwa in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Hunt. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13 and also a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, it floated on him, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Over the middle, and he's got a good one, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
11.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And he's got his man on the out route. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Garoppolo now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit and not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll start the drive with a give to Walton. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And some room to roam now. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. There's Garoppolo to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he's into the clear. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They'll run with Walton. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And it's a fumble. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Cardinals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. And his kick here is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And they'll run it here. And he works free. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there from a big play guy, Jerick McKinnon. Give him 55 yards on the ground. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Darkwa. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, gun.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. Back back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Hey, gun, gun. 11.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They'll drop to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Before that last pass, 2 interceptions had already been thrown. And this last one tipped in the air, which means everyone on defense is almost fighting each other in order to get to the football to try and make it a third. Once you've thrown a couple, it's almost like a swarm of bees going after the ball. And in this case, they weren't able to get there before it fell to the ground.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw here. This one left side caught by Berrios. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them. to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Toss play to McKinnon. And he's taken down inside the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
21. Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Darkwan. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
21. Flag! 13.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
13.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
11.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo gets this one left side to Pettis. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 and a 1st down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They run once more with McKinnon. And a short gain here down to the 22. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Toss. It's McKinnon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Drive starts on the ground. It's Walton. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll run for it. This is Walton. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A road win in the next. Charles, you never